Good morning all of you. This is 11th class biology, lecture 4 of chapter 1, the living world. And in the end of lecture, we will also discuss the homework solutions of lecture 3. So the topics to be done today are taxonomic categories, in which we will discuss about the class, phylum and kingdom. And next topic, we will do the introduction of taxonomic aids. So let's start with the class. That is one of the category in taxonomic hierarchy. Right? So what is class? Few related orders make a class. Okay, so there are few orders which have organisms having some similar characteristics make a class. Like see here, this is example. This is one class, dicotyledon. Okay, in which the plants are called dicotyledonous plants. Right, so in this class, both these orders, that is polymonials and sapindales. Okay, so these two orders are included within one class, dicotyledon, and these are two different orders. Now one more example in case of animals. One class is Mammalia, which included these two orders, Primata and Carnivora. So these are different organisms which are means part of the order Primata and Carnivora. Here this and this, these are under the order Primata. Okay, and all these are under the order Carnivora. So together they make a class Mammalia. Next category is phylum. So classes with a few similar characteristics make a phylum. So you can say a group of classes in which organisms are present with few similarities will make a phylum. So there is Phylum Chordata. Okay, in case of animals, this is a Phylum Chordata which included all these classes: Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So the organisms present in this Phylum Chordata have only some few similarities. Okay, and what are these similarities? All will have the notochord. Okay, so Chordata phylum, the animals which will come under the Chordata phylum will have the notochord, and that's why these are under the Chordata. So all these classes, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia, these are under the same phylum due to presence of a few similar characteristics. Then in case of plants, we use the term division instead of phylum. Okay, this is also the same thing, means a group of classes in which organisms have few similarities will make a division, right? So angiospermy is a division in case of plants. Another division name is gymnosperm. Okay, so gymnosperm, angiosperm, these are divisions in case of plant. And these two classes, dicotyledon and monocotyledon, these come under the same division, that is angiosperm. You know, and angiosperms included dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous plants, right? So here these are some monocotyledonous and some dicotyledonous plants present here which come under the same division, angiospermy, means the plants which have flowers. So on the basis of only you can say a few similarities, you can say one of those is presence of flower. These plants come under the angiospermy division. Next or highest category of the taxonomical hierarchy is kingdom. So there are 5 kingdoms. Okay, and out of that one is Animalia, and this Animalia kingdom includes all the animals belonging to various phyla. Okay, so there can be many phyla for the kingdom Animalia, like there can be Phylum Chordata, there can be Phylum Arthropoda, there can be Phylum Mollusca. So all these phylums will come under the same kingdom. And what is that kingdom? Animalia. So all these animals are under the same kingdom, right? Now likewise there is kingdom Plantae. So all the plants will come under the kingdom Plantae, which can belong to the various divisions. So you can see here like division Angiospermae, Gymnospermae, okay, or there can be Bryophytes, Pteridophytes. All these divisions of the plants belong to the same kingdom. And what is that kingdom? That is Plantae. So you can see here how this hierarchical order of taxonomy works. So let's start from from the species, or you can start from the kingdom, which is highest category. Okay, you can start from anywhere. So let's start with the kingdom Animalia first. So you see here all these animals present here, like these insects, birds, human, dogs, cats, lion, tiger, all these are under the same kingdom, that is Animalia. Okay, now if we come to the next category, okay, in the descending order, if we come to the phylum. So and if in the phylum we talk about a particular phylum, that is Chordata. So here we will get all these animals, but these insects are not present here. These insects were under the kingdom Animalia, but these have been removed here from the phylum Chordata because of some dissimilarities. Because I told you that in Chordata all the animals have notochord. So these are the animals which have notochord, but these insects do not have notochords. That's why these insects have been removed from here. Now in the descending order, come to the next category, that is Mammalia. So Mammalia is a class. Okay, so here in the Mammalia class, all these will under the Mammalia class because of the few similarities which are particular for the Mammalia class. You can say presence of mammary glands and hairs on the skin. So these characteristics are found only in these animals, not in birds. That's why these birds have been removed from here. Now in the descending order, come to the Carnivora order. That is means after the class there will be order now. So come to the order, and in order we are taking a particular order, that is Carnivora. So here human being is not carnivorous, but all these dogs, cats, tiger, lion, these are under the order Carnivora. So it has been removed from here. So like this, in the descending order, if we are going, animals are becoming, means types, or you can say number of animals are becoming less. Okay, likewise for the family Felidae, there will be only these tiger, lion and cats will be there. Okay, dog has been removed from here. Then if we come to the genus, then there are less number of animals present here. Cat has been removed from here. And then if we come to the species, then there will be different species for the tiger, for the lion, for the cat as well. Okay, so there will be different species, so we can take only one animal here, which or you can say a group of animals which belong to the same species. So this is hierarchical order of classification. Now come to the next topic, that is taxonomical aids. And in your syllabus these are different taxonomical aids. Taxonomical aids means anything that is required for the taxonomy, or you can say for classifying the organisms into different categories. So there are different means or different procedures are there which can be used for the classification of the organism. So these are the aids used for the taxonomy. And in these taxonomical aids there is herbarium, botanical gardens, geological gardens, museum, key, flora, manuals, monograph and catalogs. These total 9 taxonomical aids are used for the classification of organisms. Okay, so let's start with the herbarium first. So what is herbarium? Herbarium is a storehouse, or you can say repository of the plant specimen that are dried. Here what we do, we take a plant specimen, okay, either a twig of the plant is taken, which is dried, then pressed in between the pages of book, okay, and preserved on sheet. After that it is preserved on sheets, it is attached with the sheets, okay, and are arranged accordingly the universally accepted classification. So what is universally accepted classification? In which many things are written about the plant, okay, which you are collecting. So these dried and pressed specimens of the plants are preserved on the sheets here. Second thing about the herbarium, herbarium sheets means on which the plant specimens are kept. These herbarium sheets are labeled with the information about the date and place of collection. So what are written on the herbarium sheets? Date and place of collection, then English, local and botanical name, okay, so English name, local name and botanical names are written, then family of the plant and collector's name, okay. So all these things, all this information is written on the herbarium sheet. This is a herbarium sheet, you can see here, and here on the corner all this information is written, okay, date, place, local name, botanical name, okay, all these things are written here. And this is a herbarium sheet on which this twig of plant has been preserved, and this is a herbarium in which many such files are present having the preserved specimens of the plants. So this herbarium can be used for the classification of plants, so it is called a taxonomical aid. Now the next taxonomical aids means about the zoological gardens, botanical gardens and many others we will do in our next lecture. Based on today's topics, your homework is NCERT question number 9, and also read all these topics from your NCERT book. Now let's discuss the homework solution of previous lecture. So I gave question number 6, 7 and 8 of NCERT in homework. So let's start with the question number 6 first. And question was, what is taxon? And give example of taxon. So answer for that is a particular level of hierarchy in the classification of living beings is called as taxon, right? I have already told you that a particular level of hierarchy, any level of hierarchy can be called a taxon. A taxon is a group of one or more populations of an organism or organisms seen by taxonomists to form a unit. So any group of organisms can be kept in a convenient category, and that can be called a taxon. For example, the basic levels of classification is species followed by genus, means after the species there will be genus, then family, order, class, phylum or division. This is the ascending order for the classification, okay. The highest level of classification is known as kingdom. So each of these categories can be called as a taxon. Now question number 7. The question was, these three options are given, A, B and C, and this sequence is given, okay, and you need to tell the correct sequence, so that which one is the correct sequence. So you know that what is the sequence for the for the classification, that is species, genus, okay, genus comes after the species, okay. So just recall the taxonomical hierarchy in your mind and then give the answer. So you will see here that species come before the genus, so this option B is incorrect here, because here genus is coming before the species, so this option B is incorrect here. This option A is right, because here species, after that genus is not given yet, but the sequence is right, okay. Means order comes after species and it comes before phylum, okay. So the sequence is right, species, order, phylum, kingdom. And also for the C, sequence is right, genus comes after species, then order and then phylum, okay. So this is also correct sequence, so we can say both A and C are correct sequence and B is wrong. Question number 8 is, define species in case of higher animal and in case of bacteria. So here you need to give two different definitions for the species in case of higher animals and in case of bacteria. So let's start with the definition of species in case of higher animals. Here the species definition becomes different for the bacteria. I will tell you the reason why. So let's see first for the higher animals. For the higher animals, we can say that species can be defined as a group of similar organisms that are capable of interbreeding under natural conditions to produce fertile offspring. So here in this definition we are talking about the interbreeding. Okay, and interbreeding term is used in case of sexual reproduction only. So you know, higher animals are sexually reproducing organisms. Okay, that's why we can use this term here, interbreeding. So the higher animals which can interbreed among themselves will be under the same species. But can we use this term interbreeding in case of bacteria? No, because bacteria are asexually reproducing organisms. That's why definition of species in case of bacteria will get changed. Why we give this definition for the bacterial species. So we can say in case of bacteria, what is species? A group of individuals having similar morphology, means external structure, anatomy means internal structure, physiology means all the life processes which are occurring inside those bacteria, and the cytology, that is structure of cell. So on the basis of these things we decide the individuals belonging to the same species. So this is the definition for the definition of species for the bacteria.